told you I love you, for this is all I know. I never go far away from you. Even the sky will tell you that I need you so. For this is all I know. I'll never go far away from you. Come to me and hold me, and you will see the love again, or you will still hold again. For everything's hidden, you're always act this way. For how many times I told you I love you, for this is all I know.